This week on Nation's Business, we highlight to you the plight of some rural communities in the Northern Division that have been directly impacted by climate change, mainly through sea level rise. We will also bring to you the global spotlight of Fiji's presidency role on the upcoming COP23 conference in Bonn, Germany. Climate change is caused by human activity, carbon dioxide emissions causing global warming. Global warming has caused disturbing changes in Antarctica as ice melts, causing the rise in sea level, and somehow it is impacting small island nations in the South Pacific. In Vanuatu, climate change is already taking its toll in some of the coastal villages and maritime islands. 3 villages have been relocated and about 40 more are earmarked for relocation due to the rise in sea level. Our nation's business crew traveled to the island of Mali and captured how the people of the island have come to understand what is climate change and what they are doing in mitigation.
Vivi saunin rakingo enduti kon laka kima misanga mai varreida ka vakila vaka malungo ni sandu induti konan rakisado mai. Ma me varreida tiko nganan raki kima mistaf na tauni uva na vila ni singa na kata na bata ima me sanga vakila ndonan rakisado domingo kona ngonen ndon me tokina na uva sasenga ia na ngonen ndon me vila kina singa sando tala casa antiko ke mami reia ni wetingo sando tala kai tukun tiko mai ia ngona ka sanga vakandita ka vikima ndo tiko na bisau ni raki enda sasu tabetingo.
Mali Island consists of 3 villages, Lingau Levu, Nakawanga and Vesi. Since the arrival of the first settlers on the island, the generations have seen development and progress. As the years went by, Mali Islanders could see and feel the changes in the environment and weather. Now the Mali communities face a huge threat to their livelihoods due to the impacts of the rising sea level and the changing weather patterns.
Me pagkain in the tiko nandun na vura kanandun mentanganga ro ni tiko me the tiko pagkarao e nakakeda siningi kabo and the mulimai me da pagkaru teken the tiko and na bugu ni bising sa tiko mani mataka kaya malam ni sa ni bulango me pagkaru teke tikena and na bugu ni kai tiko mai lungo ngali sotawa kaya malam na lo mango na longo no bungu pagkanana no bungu pagkambau takena kamu da kabatingo kaya okwana kakena merle wa buku mai liu merna matmaru ya ia ke mami saride tiko ni sando kali una casa tumewe ia sa pa rutinga ni nda sa tiko boli na koro ina ngonongo me banda tiko boli ano ko so tina moda sara ka ko so tina wela sara ka ko so ti sara ni o manila ko sivi tu de lago mena ngono ngai ngule daba ni ko tiko mongaro ni ko tiko ena no tikina banda ka tiko wengo o ko ena lago ngamai no ngam sega ni wara ka no ngam Ene male o kena nga menda pakarau.
At Nakawanga village, the elders say saltwater intrusion heavily impacts on their lives.
Kila di ramai tawana kena ni mingase na nonda do tala nota kanimbara vingo ya nuku vula tu na nambara vingo viniu tu me beka sona ponua nuku vula ia ni saya to mai na ngau ni saya mo ya to batongo na bakio no sanga buluka vitu na de nungu bula sa dua na tamani visa ule usara ki mamina raida tiu sa wada ni na viniu sa talaraki
kona siolongo se tarana also kaba reda sara kamba sumaina kaukoni kena sa tarike memtinga na walebu ingai ndo ya na rakida ya sa tebu mekasur satu na bainiu yo kemami sa tiko kor kena komuniti mai sona ilabo kena sanga itu ngame wa binakatay na ni mambaliwa ora dito na wala ko to wala katiaw tungo wala ngo sa tarasar tunga na wana mengoni wale sa tarasar tunga na wala ngo na bebe rusanga bultu na wale na matay ni wale ko tongo ko lain batana wale undur tukinango sa tarai rakyat sartunga na kena sandau yo gambe ngame na wale sara tarasar tunga na matay lain ni wale ko sa chungo.
This is Vesi village on the island of Mali that is also affected by the rising sea level. The saltwater intrusion has changed the village platform.
Eu nang gayam baki 5 kina sa tebo wakile mo kina na rerenui matasa ngo sa tumbu sa tunga binakina na vo ninda tueni vai matasa nangono sana rede tu kono buni makau tu ya sambil ngai na kau ni bisa ndak ko saya tu mengo baltan sa tebu metra na uana na buni makaya Pono asa ngatundo ya to na wiliu ngoi na ngau wango nekir ko me to menango ngo pono ya sasibir to menau.
Mid 60 years old Daniel Naisele, according to him, the village is slowly transforming.
Ma mosi tiao chor na ko na pono rasa tungo na une mamingan diliu. Na pono ra dau tali ro waklatura tuikera smaklatura na pono dau tawani pono andara dau songo kina pono na mamaro na ngone ra gitu kina ko angko sasin rasa kambu adara ngakina na bondongo sasin dona kairan ni daro kina
ina ngauna enta wole bukina pono na wole bu e duruma mai ko na kono wai lele ngo e bantu tasara pono o mbota ni via bobola ksara ni rara na wai tala ngai duruma na mbota ni balango dona ikelo tongo dona ikilingo masaramba lai sartunga ko na ngauna e dokina na bebe sanundago esa duruma na wai na pono me ado sarani na sen korkandua au pamboto na kena ba mania do chunga mena tumutu nga na o na be balango rasangai ado mendo na wole o be balbando ko rasana orsana lupu bandu ya ko na riko ko chiko na lalaw nga chiko me keto sana sanga meter mai kini tumbani oni na raide tu endo na vakato na imbuli ni anu enda beto lingo ko undu setungo bonongo keto sana bi songo te mena law kini tumbani mete umena anu ngo me doir mena moni anu ya bandu sara ni bono mama de dongana kerkere chiko be kimuni na be matentul lebu Keroni kim kerkercio mendo teman-teman na bibuke meroni medakini tumbani wa meroni songo teman-teman lain kina na bonua meroni na lakini tumbani wa meroni marro balai na itu Ono ko na pono ko sa kani chua ni na ua I ono mamako.
At Lingaulevu village, many families have been forced to vacate their homes and move to higher grounds and to the main towns. 55-year-old Vilitati Masivo, the village headman, says they live in fear every day.
Kila nambai ni wana na vanua yato pa mai na walevu ni walevu e tiko sarvali le wai na vanua unduru tukinango e samama da bina sartunga sarai da na vanua unduru tukinango na ngau ndau lako kina nan rakida se lago na tangilamba ya na ua sa lako sarangai na sibia na botoni vale na yala niwa ko ndau lako mai ko darai mai na ko ne sane matau ko ndu si tongo ngono na vale na turanga na tuimali ya na vale talanga ya sa ndau lako duru matalanga na ua e na ngau ndau lako mai kina nan rakida lango bonongo sa lako sibita mai na ua e na ndau duru masara na bi vale liu balatani ni saya do to kia naka sa sengan kena sisi nangele ngone sa tariken da kina nan raki besau senan raki na climate change sarai dan isabe besau menan raki sa dua tani saranga nai barau ni ua dua tani nai barau ni beka sa tarana itu tiko senan itu lomani kor na kor ko lingau lebu ko na bonwa ke tu samai nduru tu kinango na bika ketu samai rawata ki mamisanda mai bini batu nga bini na batu harlau ke mai na leoni normali me ki mai bini na batu na kena sengati tarobi se ko na CCTV ni na kakana ni waitu na neto lomani tigo sena lomani korolingo le na bika ketu sarawata ketu sabai ngarabango na kena bini na batu na kena sengati me kana mai niwa na kena tarobi tigo na sisi bagayo yau ni lomani koro sena korolingo le na riri ko na tsokan lo manikor sareda ni lo manikor chongo lo manikor le lesar sa tio nga mai taya na bono ni taka se na bono ni lotu au pambauta ke na senga ni bulu no matasawa sen madala lo mani vida ne mbaki katuma yango se kimamina ngolebe ya na riri ko sa tauro tio na leweni koro wambimbi be kimamina turani koro na ni mamireida na be kaimbaleta na ni mamikoro.
With Fiji's presidency role at the COP23 conference, the Tuimali and his people are giving their support to the Honorable Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama.
Pinakawale maturang Prime Minister. And abuko ni Bonua Mali. Oh, bina-bina ka di masul lang ngongo. Meron ni baka rita kina na lomay kima mina leoni Bonua Mali. Kima misa baka bina-bina ka baka lebu. Mami baka bina-bina ka baka lebu. Na ngau na bongo muni kasi dake na itutu there muni lutaka na matambose na ken marroi na bika membalatan tu Bonua. Ibi tal na Bonua me kima mingare kina. Mami sa ba ni noi ki mami sa ba bina-bina ka ki mami sa sulen ni mami baka mbauta ni na kalongata na ngauna ni nomuni bengarabi kalongata na ngauna ni nomuni baka kumbose iya me ako may na ngauna me baka na matamay na burubura mer may reza bata na lenga enda sa lo tungo na leni Bonua ibit ki mami sa ba ni na kalongata na ngauna ni nomuni bengarabi.
Winisamsavi village, located on the coastline of the Dhakondrave province, is another of the communities in Fiji vulnerable to the effects of climate change. The changing weather pattern is something that the villagers of Winisamsavi have been trying to embrace for a long time now.
was the matalile mai me ala me na mungo iliu longa ni utunga mungo vikau tu me aba ko ni banda ni uan na dur tumelo masame materabi altiloma me domingo.
Wunisamsavi village was the initial residence of the then paramount chief of Thakonrove. However, during the tribal wars back in the olden days, he moved to Somosomo in Taviuni. Later on, he sent a clan to look after this place till today. The villagers fear traditional punishment should they relocate, as it would mean abandoning their traditional duties. However, Fabiano says young families have been urged to build homes in elevated areas away from the village.
Eliu, bunango batutu batamina tu na samberni ndoduru maua. Nango sa lutu sobo bunango na sa la maua. Nare ngo inda ungo sa narchin da adungo bulangai wetu ye sa mai bulatu ngai ponu anandongo. Sa batilawa ni sa ni talnga na sa cira na wetu sa membule nandongo.
Oh ya wakila liu senga liu sambu mu redi masa na korong liu lan mata sau me na do ron robina tuna mata sau na do na kabaya na ngono ko sabai lan do na bisa ber rento ten me sabanga me singa me na ngono wakila tuna na bisa ndak la chome wakila tuna sa sinto to batelu ya mandangan ngono ko gindo ko sitabang ko sa tuna ndaki susu yang ko sa sing sa bailan ni bernang ni motu sa motu na kakan so sampai sudah ke sa radio cina ngono go bar mandangan na bono go ingko dong rondo tu ile ngono ko sa sing sa ba me tadi me be kamutungan ran ka
Meanwhile, the villagers of Wunisamsabi is giving their support to the Honorable Prime Minister in preparing for the COP23 conference in Bonn, Germany, in advocating the conservation of the environment and natural resources.
And I tutu wale ni basa na COP23 ni sana ronga taltinga una bukai tabitagya ubole wana kana kambura kana dina balada na rakiwi sau kana bukada da na matentula lai bata ki kenda na Pasifika tare kan sa ubole una visau ni raki una ngusunda tsuna matambosile buru na kana sangai me rakawai mai na ve matentulelewu yana bukada da ni visau ni raki sa tarati kono nonda buru wambimbi kenda na yana nala ina wasipusubita
au martin valebu na national lieutenant na bosi lebu ni COP23 mai Bonn Germany na turangan na prime minister au sa wa ni na lebu na ayanga sara pamibi na na visunin rai na rani mai wangatai valebu na vibu ni mas so matentu lebu iviti mimi seramang ando na orongo pun sabi.
In Fiji, Vunidongolo village in the Thakonrove province was the first village to be relocated through the assistance by the Fijian government.
As you can see today, when I was a little boy, I used to walk maybe 2 chains further into the sea. Before, we used to walk in all these places in dryland, and it was being occupied by very big houses, very big trees. And also this river was not as wide as this. It was just a small river. This is the second seawall we built to adapt into the rising sea level. And you can see the remains of these seawalls broken into pieces as they were thrown into the sea today. You can see the remains of my own houses here. The posts of my big house, the posts of the kitchen. This is my bathroom. Now you can see the water coming very close into the village. We thought that this house will be our home forever. Due to climate change, we were forced to move to a higher ground. You can see the evidence of sea level rise right in this house. The floor is bent out of shape due to the seas that covered the whole village. The seas came all the way into our homes. Where I'm standing now in the middle of the old village site, during high tide, water level used to come up right to my knees. We used to use bamboo rafts to transport our families from houses to houses. Those are some of the impacts of sea level rise that has caused us to relocate our village from this old site to our new site. This is our new village site with 30 households, and we are so thankful to be assisted by the Fijian government.
To relocate is not an easy process for us in our Fijian protocol, because many memories we left behind. Our parents, our homes which we thought we would be living there forever, because we were forced to move because of climate change. In terms of disasters like this, it always reminds us of the very bad days we were living outside. So we are very fortunate to be the first community to be relocated, and you can see we are living happily here and our future generation. In thousands of families in Fiji and other parts of the Pacific or in the world, they cry out for this very greatest enemy of mankind, climate change. I beg if they are also to be relocated and also to be financed, provided in their financial needs.
As part of my leadership roles on the global front through the Oceans Conference and COP23, I would plead that we be mindful of the environment. Look after the environment, and I can assure you the environment will look after you and your future generation. The success of development initiatives also requires proper and forward-looking planning. So to the community leaders and coordinators, please plan well and plan ahead. Strive to be productive and also to be resilient. Together we can make Fiji a better place for all, now and into the future.